Hey guys, what's up? Flex Taylor here to talk about Activision. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have heard in recent time Activision is now caught up in a lawsuit regarding sexual harassment, pay inequality, and even racism, creating a frat boy bullying and hazing type culture in the workplace. And none of these are being referenced or tied to minor offenses. They've done some really messed up stuff. In other words, they're monsters. But honestly, I'm not too surprised this is coming to light with a lot of companies in the gaming industry, let alone ones that work for Activision, like Treyarch, for instance, having been exposed in the past 2 years. It doesn't surprise me that more stuff from more companies, especially someone as big as Activision, is now coming to light. And this isn't everybody. This is more or less management from the top and even people at the very top. But another reason this shouldn't be surprising is because if you read any book written by a lot of these guys who have retired out of being CEOs or super rich individuals or working on Wall Street, right? The stuff they say that they got away with is incredible. The horrible, horrible stuff that they would do because they became very rich, they became stupidly out of touch, and they felt like they were untouchable, and so they would do very stupid things because they felt there's going to be no accountability. And I'm not saying all the people involved were as rich or anywhere close to as rich as the guy in Wolf on Wall Street, or even other CEOs in the gaming industry, but people who are close enough to the top to be making decisions, calling the shots, and saying how they want things to be done underneath them, and that's what we're seeing. Those people running or directing things in a very awful way in the workplace. And call me crazy, but I feel like Activision's out-of-touch behavior may actually even be apparent in some of their games. I primarily play Call of Duty, honestly, but I remember people saying things were off socially in other Activision titles that I wasn't playing, and I never really looked into it, but they were saying, you know, this is a no-brainer, you should really know that that wasn't the right thing to do. And I feel like possibly Activision tries to seem like they're like woke or they're pro-equality or they really get it. And they do these things that they feel the public will perceive as, oh, look at these guys that they really get it, right? But behind the scenes, they're like, we really don't fucking get it. You know, things where it's like, if you really do get it, if you really do understand, this should have crossed your mind to not do, or should have crossed your mind to reevaluate, you know? That seems obvious. Now, as a Call of Duty fan, my example, I guess, would be World War II. When it came out, you know, it had the ability to change your character's race, which was cool. They also wanted to keep the customization of having female characters in order to avoid some type of, you know, equality backlash from the gaming community. Now, there is some rationale regarding, you know, female spies in World War II, females who fought in the underground in Europe. And, you know, they had the costumes or the outfits for the spies and, you know, the underground, like rebellion soldiers and all that stuff. But they didn't limit the outfits and customization to females' historical role in World War II. They let you dress them however you wanted. That also went for race. And I know they're trying to be like, see, we're so woke and pro-equality, but that led them to releasing a World War II game where you can play as a black female Nazi. That right away felt out of touch to me. I don't feel comfortable playing any World War II game that perceives Nazis as anything other than white supremacists. They were evil, whites-only, racist bastards. It felt very out of touch to create a game where their army is now being perceived in the multiplayer of said game to have been an equal opportunity employer. No! Again, that felt like a big red flag that everyone working on the game should have looked at beforehand and said, wow, we should have really reconsidered that. But again, I think that's possibly related to just how out of touch they really are, including, you know, some possible leadership in the companies underneath them, and them trying to cover it up by being like, this sounds woke, right? Black female Nazis, that sounds like progress, right? And that's how we ended up with uncomfortable game features like that. I don't know how else to explain how out of touch that felt. It would be like if you were talking to someone, they were like, yeah, dude, I'm totally for the victims. I'm totally against sexual assault. I think people need to be held accountable. They're disgusting monsters. I can't stand them. And, you know, they donate to all these organizations that help with that kind of stuff to show how, you know, for the cause. And then when they get done, they go right into talking about how much they love Bill Cosby without even realizing why that's contradictory or wrong. You would look at an individual like that and go, yeah, you're probably very out of touch. But regardless of how well in touch a lot of people working on these games actually are, the people at the top in Activision finally got exposed, which is a good thing. There's a full report from the Washington Post that I think everybody should go read. One of the things that it points out is women being paid less right on entry and then being given less opportunities to get promoted. And that's not women coming in for different jobs that just automatically pay less. It's women coming into positions held by other men who were paid more when they entered the same position. And then women being withheld from getting the same opportunities to get promoted. And the reason was because women had the risk of being pregnant. How shitty can you get? It also points out that the sexual harassment in the office wasn't just sexual assault, but also non-physical harassment like passing around naked photos of each other, and the behavior got so bad one of the employees actually killed herself. So apparently, that's how shitty you can get. Men were allowed to frequently play games where they got to drink on the job, and then on many occasions they would proudly come into work hungover, and if they wanted to, they got to spend a lot of their workday playing video games rather than actually doing their job. But women were reportedly scolded for things like taking a walk during their designated break time. They would also commandeer lactation rooms and kick out women who were in the midst of feeding their child, so the location could then be used as a meeting room even though they had other meeting rooms. Male co-workers would apparently also talk loud and openly about sexual conquest with other female workers while also joking about rape. Very few women actually made it to the top roles, and when they do get there, they get paid less and they get less compensation for the same job. And that's just women in general. Another report showed that black women, in particular at Activision, were micromanaged. They were scolded, interrogated, and forced to verbally justify short breaks or requests for leave for vacation. And if they asked for assistance on a task, they were basically told, we don't want to make it seem like we're helping you more than these other people who aren't minorities. Oh yeah, Activision, you guys are real woke. Also reported that a few of the former senior leaders at Activision engaged in blatant sexual assault and interactions with no repercussions whatsoever, grabbing and touching female employees while telling them they wanted to marry them and making advances and trying to kiss them. All of these acts were done in front of other staff with absolutely no fear of accountability. This stuff has apparently been going on for years. The best part at the end of all this was the Activision spokesperson coming out and being like, we're disgusted to hear of these horrible things. We take great pride in upholding equality and the practice of treating everyone with equal dignity, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, that could have possibly flown by if it was regarding bad stuff that was committed by very, very low-level employees that were doing it outside of the view of management, let alone people at the very top. But the bad things being done were being done by the people who were at the very top, who are, you know, the people who would hire a spokesperson and then tell them what to say to the public. So no, Activision is not getting a free pass on this, nor should they. Again, this is people leading up to the top. And at the very top, meaning there's a chance Bobby Kotick knew about all this and just really didn't give two shits. I'd say it's probably time to clean house, to take measures of accountability and dumpster the individuals who make too much money, watch too much Mad Men, and are obviously pathetic excuses for human beings. Anyways, that's all I've got for this video. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, comment down below, keep the conversation going, and I will catch you guys next time.